Yes. Okay, cool enough. So, in our yesterday session, we just talk about how we can declare the variables, and by the time of declaring the variables in Python, we need to follow some kind of limitations, right? Okay, what are the limitations or what are the activity, roles, conditions we need to follow it? That information we seen it, right? And the meanwhile, I showed you some kind of mhm, okay. So meanwhile, I showed you some kind of how we can, you might have some kind of predefined words, right, in Python. So I just shown you what are the predefined variables predefined names are there that I showed you, right? So as part of the Python programming language, today I just want to talk about, so what kind of data types are there in Python programming language, okay? So yesterday we are executed some programs and we seen some programs at the part of with help of Visual Studio, right? We used the tool which is Visual Studio, right? Okay. Today I just want to introduce some new tool for executing the Python programs. And so guys, have you installed Visual Studio in your laptops or not? See, in real time, so most of the time we are going to be using the standard IDE, and which is Visual Studio. Make sure that we should habituate it with Visual Studio. Okay, clear? Yep. Anyway, today also I just wanna use the Visual Studio. Some other time we'll see that some other tool. Okay, so let me open my Visual Studio in my laptop. Okay. Yep. Now, so today, I want to talk about data types, right? What is data types? Can anyone please tell me what is data types? What is data type? What is data type? Data type means it's a type of data. It's just a type of data. So you might have a various type of data. We have it. So what type of data we are representing? So we are holding in one specific variable that we are calling it, say, data type, right? So in Python, which is supported, approximately 10 data types. The first one is the integer data type. The first one is the integer data type, and second one is the float data type, and third one is the complex data type, and the fourth one is bool data type. Fifth one is none data type. Sixth one is string data type. Seventh one is, tell me guys, if you have already, if you know these data types previously, please let me know so that we can go a little bit speeder. List and tuple. What next? Set, and last but not least, which is dictionary data type. So the Python which is supporting approximately 10 data types. Okay. So for example, if any variable, it can hold some kind of data, right? So I want to know that what type of data the variable which is holding, I want to know that. So if you know the data type of the any variable in Python programming language, we can have a function is, the name of the function is type function. And this type function, it can receive the, or it will take the only one argument, and it can be returns the data type of that specific variable. Okay. Okay, fine. Now I'm talking about integer data type. Integer means any number. Okay, it could be real number, it could be negative number, or else it could be positive number, whatever it is. Okay, and if any number, it can be negative, or it can be positive, or it can be zero, but it could be real number. Okay, so that kind of data type we are calling it same integer data type. Okay, whole number. Simply we can say that it's a whole number. Okay, so 0 or else any positive number, that we are calling it same integer. So I want to print something, then I can use the print function. So type and then print of type of B, and then I would like to go with type of C. So this is the three print statements. It is printing the integer, integer, and integer only. Okay, because which is whole numbers. Just we can run it. Yeah. See, which is printing integer, 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 right? Any questions regarding about integers? Now we'll talk about float data type. So we'll talk about float data type. Float data type in the sense it is same like integer only, but it is a fractional data. So rational data, that kind of, so it is something like sum. Okay. So it could be negative number, it can be positive number, it could be zero, but it could be a fractional thing. So that kind of data type, we are calling it same floated data type. So, right. Clear? So this is a float data type, right? So here we got an output is float, 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 right? Yep. Now we'll talk about complex number. When we are talking about complex number, when we are talking about complex number, it could be combination of the real number plus imaginary number. So in case of Python programming language, the imaginary numbers we are having the prefix is J character. Okay. So the real number and imaginary number, it could be float or it can be it can be float, it can be integer. Okay. But the imaginary number, it could have the J character. Okay. So for example, so 85 plus 56 point something else, but we have J character is there. J indicating that it's a imaginary. Okay. Here 0.0 plus 0 J, even this is also it's an imaginary number, but it's a 0 is the real number and 0 is the 0.0 is the real number and 0 is the imaginary number. Okay. And here you might have the data is this way we can representing the complex numbers, and these complex numbers, and so in your fourth standard, I think in our eighth standard, ninth standard, we seen this kind of numbers. Okay. Yep. Let me execute this program. If I execute this program, it will returns the complex, 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 right? So this way we can representing the integer numbers, and we can representing the float numbers, we can representing the complex numbers. Okay, cool enough. Guys, is there any question so far? If you have any question, please let me know. Now we'll talk about the bool data type. See, if you want representing the Boolean data type, here we have a two keywords. The first keyword is true keyword and the second keyword is false keyword. Okay. So if you want to store something like in a logic one, then we can use the keyword true. And if you want to be representing the logic zero, then we can use the keyword false. Okay. For example, here my a is the variable, and if it is storing the true, so here the true is the keyword, guys. So if in yesterday's session, I listed these so many keywords, right? Within that one, true is the keyword. So the true keyword, the true name which is available in our keyword list. And here we have a false keyword. Okay. And false is also keyword for representing the Boolean zero. And so if you want representing nothing, so if you don't want to store anything and you're just simply assigning a name, so which is not possible in Python programming language, so that we are creating some kind of data type that is none data type. Okay. So when you're assigning the none to the variable, any variable, which means that the variable which is not storing anything, the variable which is not storing anything, that exactly the that exactly the none data type. Okay. So I hope you understood what exactly the Boolean data type and what exactly the none data type you understood, right? Okay, let me go for execute this program. If I execute this program, first two things are which is returning the bool here, which is type here, type P, which is returning the bool and bool. But when it comes to the type C, which is returning the none type. Okay, here none is the keyword, false is the keyword, and true is also keyword. These are the three are the data type keywords, Boolean keywords and non-data type keywords. Okay. If you want to execute this program in your laptop, you can execute, or else we can try to access the recording and we can try to execute, or else we can take the screenshot and after the session we can try to execute. It's up to you. Yep. So I just need confirmation from your end. Have you understood this first 5 data types or not? If you understood, please put a message, something like S. Only few people are responded for this my question. Only Dhanlakshmi, Monica, and Sudhira and Varun. Tanya, only 5 people are following this session. Rest of all, you're not following. Just press Y, yes, Y, yes. That's it, right? Respond in the chat. Have you got these 5 data types or not? If you're not understood these 5 data types, please let me know. I would like to explain one more time. Datri,
Hello?
Rajini, Saitej, yes.
When do
Malti.
you use the imaginary data type?
So,
What is the use case of imaginary data?
see, basically, you know the complex numbers. Have you know about complex numbers?
Yeah.
So, what is the use of the complex numbers in our mathematics?
Um, it is related to -1, right?
No, complex numbers are not related to -1. No. See, there we have some kind of numbers which you're not known. Okay. So it's something like real and imaginary. Okay. So when you want to representing some kind of eclipse, okay, so that situations we can use complex number. It's a purely maths actually. Okay. So we have to refer it. You just go and refer it. What exactly
So
the complex numbers?
it is the Python which supports the imaginary
Yes.
numbers or
Yes,
any
that's what
other?
I'm trying to tell you. Yes, you know that mathematics, or else if you know the mathematics in in complex data in mathematics, okay. So that complex numbers, Python only supporting. Rest of all programming languages are not supporting. Okay. So if you go for C programming language, complex number it won't supports. In Java also it won't support. Only Python programming language is supporting the complex numbers. Okay. So the complex numbers, so that which is there in your 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, we already seen that kind of numbers, or else your intermediate stage, or else in your
Yeah.
graduation stage. Yep,
Okay.
cool enough. Now, now would like to go with some new data types, or else some rest of 5 data types, which is string data type. What is mean the string, guys? String means it's a collection of characters or group of characters, right? Collection of characters or group of characters. So the characters, it could be alphanumerical things, anything actually, okay? But we can store the string in single quotes also. Okay, we can store anything. It could be numbers, it could be alphabets, it could be special characters, anything. Okay, but we are going to be storing inside of the single quotes, that we are calling it say string data type, or else we can store the group of characters in double quotes also. Okay, even double quotes also supporting the numbers, or else special characters, alphabets, anything. Okay, not only that one, you might have the triple quotes. Within the triple quote also, we can store the group of characters. It could be numbers, it could be special characters or alphabets. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Yep. Okay. Right. So here I have a question. Then what is the difference between these three? That's your choice. That we need to investigate yourself, and you can give me answer by tomorrow's session. Okay. And let me continue the list data type. Okay, save it. Okay, run it. What you got the result? Even we can hold the data in a single quotes, even if you hold the data in a double quotes, even if you hold the data in a triple quote, it could be string data type, right? Right or not?
Yes.
Okay. So recording about string, you already know that, guys. So what is the purpose we are using in the sense when you want to be store some names, or else if you want to be write some kind of mail IDs, or else if you want to store some kind of data, it could be phone numbers. What do you think? If you want to store any alphanumerical thing, then the string could be the part of it. Okay. Yep. Now let me go with the let me go with list data type. So list means we can store the anything inside of the square brackets. Okay. For example, I am storing empty square bracket, that is empty list. So inside of the list, we can store same data, similar data types, or else we can store the dissimilar data types. We can store integers, we can store float numbers, we can store complex numbers, we can store Boolean data. Okay. And we can store the none data type, and we can store the string, and we can store the list inside of the list. Anything we can do, anything we can store in inside of the square brackets, that we're calling it say heterogeneous. So heterogeneous means it's a dissimilar data types. It is collecting the dissimilar data types in a square brackets, that we're calling it say list data type. I hope you clear about list data type. Any questions regarding our list? In C programming language, we have the arrays, right? Arrays, it could be store some similar type of data. Okay. But when it comes to the structures or queues or any unions, it could be stores dissimilar type of data, right? In the same way, in Python, we have a direct data type is there, which is a list. It can be hold anything inside of the square brackets. The data, it could be any type of data. You can collect any type of data in square brackets.
Do
Okay.
we also have the arrays in Python?
So, unfortunately, Python is not directly supporting the arrays, but we have a library which is NumPy, numerical Python, so which is supporting. So, indirectly, it is supporting.
So same data type, it stored the
It
same data.
is no. My question is, your question is that could we store arrays? What is mean that array? Array means we can store only similar type of data, right?
Yeah.
Or else
It's
we don't have any array type of data in Python, but array type of data we can support when we have some kind of numerical Python. Okay, so let me go with import NumPy. So here we have one library. The name of the library is the NumPy. Okay, inside of the NumPy we have a function. The name of the function is array function. Okay.
yeah.
So here we have array function is the right. So inside of the array, we can hold again anything. Okay. So let me try to go for print A, and I just want to print data also. Here after you printing the data type, and I want to print A. Okay. And after printing A, sorry, after printing data type of B, I want to print B. After printing the data type of C, I want to print the C. Okay, but now I imported the NumPy, and we have let me try complex number. Okay, complex number. So let me try to go for print A, and let me try to go with print the data type of okay, type of A. Okay. Yep. Okay, so let me execute this one. Clear? This is array type. It's ND array, n dimensional array. Okay. Clear? Yep. So it is out of the syllabus at this moment. This is required for the data analytics guys and data science guys. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll talk about tuple data type. Tuple means it's exactly a replication of the array, but we are holding dissimilar data types in a parenthesis. Whatever the data we are holding inside of the parenthesis, that we are calling it same tuple data type or tuple data type. Okay, the pronunciation it could be anything, tuple or tuple, anything. Okay, yes, that way we can able to now store the data in a parenthesis. Might you're getting a doubt, right? What is the difference between the tuple and list? That we will discuss in upcoming session. Don't worry about it. Okay. And even if you know it, no issue. If you don't, if you're not aware of it, then don't worry about it. Okay. I will explain you in, each and every data type. It will take, more than 30 minutes of time for understanding. So at this moment, I'm just showing you the representation part, but in upcoming sessions, whenever I was free, then I would like to explain you some kind of okay, so characteristics of each and every data type. Okay. Yep. I hope you understood what exactly the tuple data type as well. Now, set data type. Coming to the set data type, we have some kind of limitations are there. So the limitations are the here we can store anything in a parenthesis, sorry, curly braces. But unfortunately, empty set we can't create with help of the curly braces. But we can store anything. But when comes to the dissimilar data type here, which is not supporting the list, you can't store the list inside of the set. Meanwhile, we can't store the set inside of the set. So we have some kind of limitations are there. So what are those limitations and everything I can explain you. But this particular situation, so if anything we are holding inside of the curly braces, that kind of data type we are calling it say set data type. See, and even you can try to store the list inside of the set, then we are getting an error. The error is we can't store the list in the set. Might got an error. Unhashable data type. What is mean that? I will explain you for the sessions. So this moment we need to understood. Okay, we can store anything in a key values. Okay, in a curly braces. Then that kind of data type we are calling it say set data type. Okay. Yep. Last but not least, which is dictionary data type. Even dictionary also, it's similar to the set data type. So we can store anything in a curly braces, but here we can store the data in a key value and pair of key value and key and value. Okay, pair of key and value. Okay, pair of key and value. That kind of data type we are calling it same. Okay, dictionary data type. So usually we seen that some kind of XML or JSON languages, right? JSON languages or XML languages, right? So which it could be something like dictionary format only. Clear? So dictionaries means when you hold the data with key, pair of key and value. Okay, let me run it. You will get the dictionary and dictionary. So guys, these are the data types we have it in Python programming language. And here I introduced some functions. And the functions are ID function to know the data memory location. And here we have a type function to return the data type. And here we have a print function and for display the data on the monitor. Okay. Like here I want to be introduce one more function, which is input function. So input function, it could help you for to take the data from the keyboard. If you want to give anything, if you want to give any input from the keyboard, then we can use the input function. Let me try input function here. And so if you want to be print something before enter, or else you need some kind of message what you want to be enter it. Okay, enter some data. So whatever you're writing inside of the parenthesis, or else inside of the curly braces in a parenthesis, that it can be displaying before you enter, and the program still wait until they enter something. Okay, right? And let me try this way. I want to print the data A, and I want to print the data type of I want to print the data type of A. Okay. So this moment, what I can do, I can enter the integer data type. So here it is asking something like enter some data, right? Here I enter the 123. What happened? Program it is running. Okay. So this program, I just want to open from the Jupyter notebook. Yeah. So so open your Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook is the another IDE. So there also we can execute the Python programs. I just want to show you this input function. So basically it could be open some kind of local host. So from the local host, we can write some kind of program and we can execute, and again we'll get one more shell. So mhm. Let me go with open any one of the file. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me open a file. So Jupyter Notebook, if you want to be work with Jupyter Notebook, we just go and install the Anaconda software, and then we can open it. What happened to this mission? Okay, so we are executing this one, right? So if you here we have a run option. If you run this one, here we have a box, right? So if you enter the 123, it's integer, right? but I got an output is like something like it's a string data type. So we can try to go for enter the float data type. So 12 point from something. It is float, right? When you enter the float data type, it was returning something like string only. Even we can try for some complex number. We can enter the complex number, but it was displaying something like, string data type. So this is the, this is the complication. This is the issue we are facing when you're using input function. So that we have type conversion functions are there. If you want to convert any data type into the integer, then we can use the int function. If you want to convert any data type into the float, then we can use the float function. So if you want to be convert any data type into the complex, then we can use the complex function. Like that, we have 9 data type conversion functions are there. String function, list function. Okay. So whatever the data type you want to be entered from the input function, then the corresponding data type function, we have to give you one more additional thing for that. Okay. So set and a dictionary. Okay. So how should I use this one? Simply what I can do. So when you enter the integer data, we can try to be go for give the input inside of the int function. So if you enter the 123, then it is integer data type. Okay. For example, I decided to take the input is the float, then you just go and give that, float of input. Then you can enter the float data type, then it was returning the float only. Okay. For example, if your enter the data is for example complex, you decided that give the data is complex, then we just go and give the complex is the inside the complex we can use the input function. So guys, this way we can use it, this way we can use this data type conversion functions. Please take a screenshot of this data type conversion functions. It is pretty much important. Sometimes if you want to be typecast your data, then we can use this particular data type conversion functions. Okay. Yep. So guys, that's for today's session. And if you have any kind of questions regarding about today's, so you can put a message or else you can unmute your system and you can ask me the doubts and then I can try to be answer your questions.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I have a couple of questions. General, actually.
Yep.
You you worked with something like VS Code. What is this? It
Okay,
is.
VS Code is the software
Is
actually. So the software it
is it?
can be supported the various programming languages. For example, you want to work with, for example, when you are build some kind of projects in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So the time you might need to be work with multiple programming
I mean,
languages.
Visual Studio Code. This this one.
Visual
What is the?
Studio, Visual Studio, VS Code.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
Okay, so
So
this
it
is the
supports.
software. It's just
Okay,
IDE. Okay, just IDE.
okay,
IDE means integrated
okay.
development environment.
It's like Jupyter Notebook.
Yeah, Jupyter is the another
Okay.
type of IDE. But visuals, the beauty of the Visual Studio Code is
Mm-hmm.
when we are working with one particular project, the project it includes the various it needs various programming languages files. Might you require
Okay.
HTML files, might it require the JSON files, or else might it requires the Python files, might it requires the some kind of Java files. So project which is a combination of the multiple programs and right or not? So
Exactly.
that all
Yeah.
things we can no make it in one. It can be supported one particular software. That software is Visual Studio Code. Okay. So
Okay,
most
got
of the companies are we are going to be using Visual Studio Code only in real time. Okay. So
okay.
you need
This
to be habitual. Yeah.
okay, okay. Got it. And this VS Code support like only in Windows or we can use on
Any
Linux,
operating system.
any operating system. Okay,
Yep.
got it. And
Yep.
other thing, actually, it was a very nice explanation about the data types and that functions. And my question is, anything I missed before, like today I attended, so anything important
Nothing. You're not
yesterday?
missed anything. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Uh,
This is you feel like it's a first class, and even I have a recording, and you already shared your mail ID, right? So I already
yeah,
given access of our previous class recording also. You just go and watch that previous class, okay? That way you can
yeah,
understand. Yep.
yeah, got it. Thank you so much. It really helpful and Nice
Thank you.
explanation on the
Yeah.
basics.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank
See
you.
you guys.